quick reminder, my filmmaker retreat in Joshua Tree is October 1st through the 4th, 2026, year 5, everybody. It's a small group of real working filmmakers. I want you to come be a part of a special community, take part in honest conversations, and just take time to think out in the desert. And the food is fantastic. That's where all the magic happens, really, is we all eat our meals together. If you've been craving connection, transformational clarity about your career or life, and you really want to define your voice as a filmmaker, this might be right for you. So DM me or sign up quickly. It will sell out. Oh yeah, there's plenty of Magic Mind at the retreat. That's the mental performance shot that I drink daily. Okay, let's get on with the show.
It's time for Respect the Process, a short chat about commercial filmmaking. Here's your host, director Jordan Brady.
Oh, Helen, thank you. And yes, summer is here. You look fantastic, by the way. You've been out in the sun, which I know for you British people is a rarity. Wow, what a great talk we're going to have. We're going to keep it short. It is Saturday. It's a beautiful day in California, June 13th. I hope you're not in a room with headphones listening to this. I hope you're out playing cornhole by the lake or whatever you do with the family and friends, and that you're listening perhaps late at night or on a treadmill. Got some great news. The Filmmaker Retreat is filling up fast for October 1st through the 4th, our 5th year. You heard the promo at the top of the show. And I just got off the phone with a filmmaker in Florida who saw one of my pesky Instagram, Facebook ads, got on the phone with me, and I tried to talk him out of it, but he's coming. So there'll be 7 spots left by the time you're done listening to this. More great news. Filmmaker Kevin O'Brien has a course that you need. It's called Virtual Production for Commercial Directors. Now, Helen, how much more to the point can you get with the name of a course? You know, I came up with Behind the Beard and some other crazy ones. Kevin goes, you know what it is? It's a course on virtual production for commercial directors. Kevin, by the way, an alum of the retreat. You can go to Commercial Directing Film School. There are links. I'll put links in the show notes. But if you just Google Kevin O'Brien with an E, not an A, virtual production for commercial directors, you'll find it. And it's not how to operate the wall. You don't plug in and color correct the nodes on the LED wall. He teaches you to think like a director and the pitfalls and wonderful opportunities you can exploit by using virtual production, the volume, the LED wall. My favorite part about Kevin's course is that at the end of a lot of the chapters, he has a prompt for you to reflect, a reflection on what you've done as a filmmaker on shoots, like what could you do better next time? What were you really proud of? And they pertain to filmmaking in general, but he somehow wraps it all around the virtual production. Oh, if you use the code VIRTUAL as a listener of the show, I think you get $50 off, Helen. That's pretty nice, isn't it? Code VIRTUAL. I have been posting, I think I've posted as of now 2 of the 3 that are live, these new spots I did for Valley Toyota. We did 8 total with the Lovebirds. And I'm going to try not to get emotional because it's such a conundrum. I'm so proud of the work. And it was a chance to work with the CGI VFX wizards at Untold Studios here in LA. And I'm going to have David Fleet on the show and shout out to Will and Seb and Sophie and the whole team. I mean, there's a list a leg's length long of artists, CG. There's no AI. It's all CG Lovebirds, and they're just the top of the rock. Got to work with them. I would say working with them and, of course, my LT agency team, just crafting the stories was so much fun. And I think the real comedy directing for me was during the voiceover session about 3 months ago in March with Tom Kenny and Jill Talley. So why is it a conundrum? Why am I emotionally just a little confused? Well, there's so much pride that I have in the work, but when I'm promoting it, I'm not tagging my brother Pat Finn. We shot at the same dealership that I've shot on and off with out in Puente Hills, California for, I think, 10 or 12 years. We've shot at that dealership. The Disney Ranch, where I shot with Pat as recently as December. The Lovebirds have the same enthusiasm for Toyota as Pat did, and his character Pat had. He was just an evangelist for Toyotas and Valley Toyota. And so these Lovebirds, which, side note, there is an influx of actual Lovebirds in Phoenix, Arizona. I think it's one of the highest populations of Lovebirds outside of Madagascar. Okay, I made the last part up, but there's a lot of Lovebirds. My mom has Lovebirds in her backyard. So to the Phoenix native, the spots are really gonna hit hard, and they're funny, and the performances from Tom and Jill really bring it to life. And then you put those voices inside the intricate, detailed quirkiness of the CG Lovebirds that Untold made, and they're just really cute spots. I mean, at their core, they're comedy dialogue spots. So I've wrapped a couple of jobs recently, and it took a while for the Lovebird spots to, ferment, as they say. And so I'm tagging the post. I've known Tom Kenny, who you know as the voice of SpongeBob, his lovely wife, Jill Talley, just a powerhouse of a voiceover artist and comedic actor. I've known her since the 90s, him since the 90s, from the stand-up days. And it was a little intimidating to work with them. And Tom Kenny he's directed more cartoons and voiceover sessions than you can even imagine. And he directs SpongeBob sometimes, I believe. He does workshops. He just can fine-tune a voice. Jill, she was in the pocket right out the gate. And we auditioned a bunch of people, but I was pulling for them long before we even had a casting director on. And the crazy thing is, I don't know if I talked about this here on the podcast with you people, but I hadn't talked to them in a while. And when the Lovebirds campaign picked up after Pat's passing, I actually ran into them at the end of January at Pat's funeral. And at the reception afterwards, we talked. We had great stories. I mean, that was probably one of the funniest funeral services that hands down, that I've ever been to. There was just so many comedy people, especially improv people, the Chicago comedy mafia. Jill is from Chicago. We just had a blast, and it was like an epiphany. Perhaps it was old Pat Finn throwing coconuts on my head saying, look at these two. Because the Lovebirds, Tom and Tawny are their names of the birds, they needed to have a chemistry. And so we paired different people together and whatnot. But boy, Tom Kenny and Jill Talley, just seeing them in the booth and working with them a few months ago was the kind of fun that you have with Pat Finn on set, minus the physical comedy. I miss that, although directing voiceovers, you're going at a clip, a real nice pace, because you don't have to reset, reload anything, or reslate. You just kind of going, holding on to that tiger by the tail, baby. And so here I am, I'm putting these spots online. It does feel weird not to be tagging Mr. Pat Finn. So it's a weird form of grief that's definitely, overshadowed by celebration. And I think Pat would be very happy. I actually talked to Pat's wife, Donna Finn, about when we hired Tom and Jill. I wanted her to know, like, in some weird way, it's like we kept it in the family. Now, I could be making all this up. I could be putting these connections together just so it gives me sanity, but I really believe it. And I'm, like I said, I'm proud of the new work, but as I post, it's hard not to think back over the last 20 years with Brother Pat. So, that's it. I don't have a conclusion. I just wanted to share that, kind of get it off my chest. Oh, in the press release, like, it doesn't make sense for the common person reading about the industry news or anyone in Phoenix. Like, it's a clean slate. But by golly, the DNA of Pat Finn and the comedy that he brought to the whole campaign for Valley Toyota, I believe lives on in the Lovebirds. So shout out, maybe we'll get Tom and Jill on the podcast. And if we do, oh my gosh, it's like one long riff. It is hilarious to talk to them separately and together. So I'm going to try and make that happen. I'm off on a road trip, if you're still listening, doing something I've always wanted to do. I'm going to drive across the country with my trailer. Hope to be posting definitely on the Instagram and the LinkedIn, and try to squeeze out a couple of episodes because we have the Knott brothers back. They're in the can. Who else do we have, Helen? Got a couple of great episodes. So thank you for listening. Check out Kevin's course. And I'll leave you with a snippet of when Kevin was on the podcast. Okay, play that, Helen. Thanks, everybody. Well, I just want to start off by telling the listeners that I was shooting for the second time, but like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like 7th or 8th spot on an LED wall. And I had posted some things about it. And Kevin, you were so nice to not just message me some advice because you've been using the tool quite a bit, but you were sending me actual screenshots and doing a breakdown on my DMs. Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, we had literally just shot that as well. We had just wrapped that project the day before, or even that day. So, happy to, you always talk about sharing your wisdom. So I figured, I'm not going to be threatened by you, and I'm going to share my knowledge that I have with you.
Well, Kevin, first of all, I'm a very peaceful man. There's nothing to be threatened. This episode is brought to you by a new sponsor, Posh Duo, the original 2-in-1 hair and beard styling stick. I use it. It's made for filmmakers, handcrafted with beeswax, tea tree oil, a fresh hint of citrus, and a single Viking tear. Listeners of this show respect the process, get free shipping, and it comes in discreet packaging. There's a link in the show notes. Get the posh look.
Commercial Directing Film School's mission is to help filmmakers direct commercials professionally. With online courses and in-person boot camps, we demystify the process to get you to the next level. All taught by your accessible mentor, filmmaker Jordan Brady.
True Gentleman Industries. We make commercials.